It's hard winning in college football, and it's, we focus on the scoreboard when the game's over. We knew we needed to make certain improvements. And just like any game, there's highs and lows to a game. You see a defensive touchdown early. You see them score some touchdowns there before half. And, but for a lot of us, our kids, that's the first time they sang that fight song in that locker room. When I say there's 40 new kids on the team, and even after the game, I had to remind them, hey, we shake hands, we go over to the band. So again, still a lot of teaching, but I see us making gains. Sometimes you might get frustrated, but that's why they call us coach. It's our job to teach. I love the fact, again, we come out in the second half and limited them to 3 points, and we just got to start a lot faster on all three phases of football.
Just to start 21-0, how important was that, especially being at home for the first match?
It was. I mean, it's special playing in the ice castle, about defending the castle, and to be able to do that with our fans, getting a jump on, and then all of a sudden they got a little momentum going on their side of the ball and kind of closed it. And, then you got to deal with that. It's about how do you react? How do you react when great things happen? How do you react when you're up 21-0? Next play is most important. Our kids say you got to get back to neutral. Then all of a sudden they fight their way back. Okay, now you got to fight that adversity of a team that comes back. Okay, how are we going to respond when we come out after halftime? And the one thing I always say this, we talked about how you measure toughness. You measure toughness by wide receiver blocking. You measure toughness by how you tackle, short yardage, goal line. You also measure toughness of what team comes out after half and how do they play coming out of that halftime. And, I saw a lot tougher team today than maybe we were a week ago. Mm-hmm.
3 penalties. I know that's 3 too many for you.
Yeah.
No turnovers. So what did you like most about what you saw?
The fundamentals that we talk about, the Penguin fundamentals. We got 5 of them that we stress every day. And, the 3 going into this game that we really wanted to emphasize was, number 1, pad level. The teams that play with great pad level, 4 quarters of football, not just first, second quarter, but, quarter 3, quarter 4. Tackling, we had to be, and I still saw maybe some missed tackles, but I thought we were attacking. All week defense, like, hey, if you're going to have grass stains, have it on your chest, not your back. So if you're going to miss as physical and fast as you possibly can. And the last fundamental that we really wanted to stress, ball security. We gave up 3 turnovers a week ago, had 0 turnovers in today's game, and we got to continue to do that. And, competition's going to continue to get better. And, Valpo came out, through that, their backup quarterback, we had to adjust to that. And I think we did that at halftime, but I gave him a lot of credit. They came out, ran counter against us. I said, man, you ran that right up, early in the game, and our kids adjusted to it, which we needed to. So proud of our kids' effort. A lot of those kids, that's their first win wearing a Youngstown State uniform. So couldn't be more happier for those kids. But we'll learn from it.
What adjustments did you see from Bo from last week to this week, and what he did today from the city you grew up in?
Yeah, I mean, it's just guys, play college football, to be a redshirt sophomore and be in your second start, and you got protections, you got blitzes, you got to know where to deliver the ball. Oh, I can keep the ball at times. There's a lot, and he's going to continue to get better. But to see what he can do with his legs, and then, throwing the football, I think he had a high percentage on third down, high percentage overall in attempts to completions. So, for us, I told the kids before the game, what is our DNA going to be? I still don't know. Until we get through some of these games, what's our identity? What do you guys want other people to think of how we play? And I saw the rushing yards, 429. How many rushing yards did we have? 429. That's a lot of rushing yards, and that's a contribution. It was great seeing those other running backs getting in. We've been talking about Jaden Gilbert, and you got to see a little bit of what he can do, or Deshaun Watley, and what he can do. And for us, we got to have superior special teams, and there's some things, we're kicking into the wind a lot on those punts. I'd rather get first downs and move the chains when we're going in to win, and I felt like we didn't do that going in to win and put us at a disadvantage punting the football. Those wins were strong today.
Going back to the quarterback change that they made earlier, and obviously Keith started the game, he played most of the game last week as well, played half the season last year. Did you guys anticipate the possibilities that they might, change things up, try to bring, obviously, Karan Tyler was obviously the more suitable quarterback for them with how he was able to move the ball, but did you guys anticipate seeing multiple guys from them at quarterback?
You don't like chasing, ghosts around, so you prepare for what you're going to see. You have a plan in case those changes come in. And, I thought in the second quarter there, they're gashing us pretty good with quarterback run or scramble, even pulling it and keeping it. And, we had to provide our interior a little bit more support on that quarterback. He could run the football. So, those are the adjustments. And I say this every week, a game starts, guess what? You got to be a problem solver. They probably gave us personnel groupings offensively, maybe more than what we've seen on film to attack us. You put a plan together, and guess what? Sometimes those plans, you got to throw them out, and you got to problem solve and figure out what you got to do for the rest of the game. And that's where I thought our defensive staff and players came in at halftime, made whatever adjustments we needed to do, went back out there and played a solid third and fourth quarter.
You had to re-punt twice today. Why did you guys have to re-punt?
What was the first one? I think, there was a penalty. They had to re-punt, and there's penalties on both teams. So, those are one where, okay, if you accept the penalty, we're going to mark off 15 yards. If I decline the penalty, they're going to re-punt. And then we make them re-punt. It rolls to where, it was a wash. So, those are decisions. Even, you reflect when you ride home or tonight, the end of half, I felt like we just needed to get off the field and regroup. We had 3 timeouts. I just wanted defense to hold them. We knew we had the ball in the second half. And, part of me was sometimes we're a little more aggressive, 3 timeouts, get the ball back. But at that point, we knew we had the ball coming in the second half, and we just needed to regroup and to get off the field and regroup and be ready to play, solid third and fourth quarter.
With what Bo did on the field today, especially with his leg, is that the kind of performance that you guys kind of envisioned that he was capable of when you guys named him QB1 before the start of the season?
Yeah, we always knew. I think our kids knew what he can do. He's fast. You give him a seam, he's strong. So we had some designed runs where last week we didn't really have we didn't, because he was making things maybe break down in the pocket, scramble a little bit. So, really when your quarterback can do those things, how much QB run do you really need to do? And knowing that we got to play 12 games, we also, need to take care of them too. We don't want to wear them into the ground. I saw he had 10 rushes today, where he had 16, 18 last week. Today though, those were probably more designed quarterback run plays, and he was able to gain 195 on those 10 plays. That's a pretty good rushing average. We're always going to be a little bit dinged, but, nothing that, I'll walk through our sports medicine. And, we kept some guys out today just because, you didn't see Colt Seacrest, you didn't see David Metzler. Those are 2 starters, tight end and left guard. And, so, we got to get those guys back this week, which we will. But that's why you got to have depth. And I have no problem playing Van Keen, Joseph Fair. When we look at our offensive line, I always say we got 10 of them, and whoever needs to play better be ready to play. Again, that's why we coach, is to prepare those young men to get when they get the opportunity to play, to make the most of it.
How's Joey's recovery coming along?
Farthing, good. And again, Joey is one where, you could keep pushing him and keep pushing him, but he's speed. If he don't have speed, then we need to get him so when he's healthy, he has his speed. He's a 4.3 kid. You know, I don't want to play him when he's running a 4.5. That don't help him. That don't help us. And it's just one of these, you know, nagging little things where if he played linebacker or D-line, he probably would play. But when you're a 4.35 guy, guess what? You got to be healthy your whole body. So we want to make sure, and we look forward to his return as soon as we can. Luke Hensley, we look forward to his return, you know, as soon as we can. Karsten Marshall, you know, linebacker, you know, we're hoping for his return. You know, some of the guys that haven't played this season, again, we're hopeful that you'll see them coming in the next few weeks getting back on the field.